Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. I'm going to start with a story that when I first saw it, I kind of blew off, and then I was like, let me look at this. And now I'm fascinated with it. From The Hollywood Reporter, Maya Rudolph said she felt uncomfortable during her first appearance on Letterman's show back in 2009. She told The Hollywood Reporter, "I did not have a good time. He said my name wrong. And I just sat there like, I grew up my whole life in love with you, and now my heart is broken, and I'm sitting here embarrassed and humiliated. I didn't know how to handle it." Now, at a personal level, I think someone's name is important. If you tell me your name is Bananifer, I will call you Bananifer. It's your name. And I was like, wait, am I saying Maya Rudolph wrong? Because it wouldn't be the first time I got a comedian's name wrong on this show, believe me. And I'm like, wait, it's not Maya Rudolph? What could Letterman possibly have said? Okay, I'm going to play two clips for you. First, here is Saturday Night Live introducing the comedian at hand. Let's listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Maya Rudolph.
All right, it appears that Maya Rudolph is the correct pronunciation of her name. Now, let's listen to David Letterman say her name.
Our next guest is a talented actress. She has a new film entitled Away We Go. It opens June 5th in selected cities. Please welcome the lovely Maya Rudolph, ladies and gentlemen.
Am I missing something? To me, it just sounds like Letterman, who drops a lot of ums and uhs into his speech pattern, said, my next guest is Maya Rudolph. Or is the issue here that he thought her first name was Amaya? What am I missing? Again, I'm sorry you had a rotten time. I'm sorry if your name was said wrong. I think that is important. But what am I not hearing here?
I'm sorry that I mispronounced your name. I'm just a boob. There's no excuse for it. And from the bottom of my heart, I sincerely apologize.
John Oliver with a great joke. Tom Brady suddenly has one less ring. Ouch. It's the People's Choice Awards, the comedy act of 2022. Here are the nominees. Amy Schumer, Whore Tour. I still hate the name of that tour. People get mad every time I say that. I hate the name of that tour. Amy Schumer, Whore Tour. Chris Rock, Ego Death World Tour. Not crazy about that either. David Spade, Nothing Personal. Kevin Hart, Reality Check. Wanda Sykes, Standout and LGBTQ plus celebration. Joe Coy, live from the LA Forum. Steve Martin and Martin Short, You Won't Believe What They Look Like Today. And Whitney Cummings, Jokes. Comedy act of 2022. I guess Chris Rock? Comedy movie of 2022, Fire Island, Hustle, Hocus Pocus 2, Senior Year, The Lost City, Marry Me, The Adam Project, Ticket to Paradise. Wow. Fire Island, because I like Joel Kim Booster, I guess. Comedy movie star of 2022, Channing Tatum, Jennifer Garner, Julia Roberts, Ryan Reynolds, Jennifer Lopez, Queen Latifah, Sandra Bullock, and Adam Sandler. Yes, and you guys know I love Adam Sandler movies. Adam Sandler nominated for Hustle. I'm going to pick Adam Sandler. I'm trying to encourage Adam Sandler to do this whole late period thing that we saw in Uncut Gems and again in Hustle, where he's like a good actor if he doesn't do the fool thing. Yes, Adam Sandler is my choice. The People's Choice nominations for the comedy show of 2022, Abbott Elementary, Black-ish, Only Murders in the Building, Saturday Night Live, Young Rock, Never Have I Ever, The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window, what? And Young Sheldon, boy, SNL, I guess? The Nighttime Talk Show of 2022, the nominees are basically everything. Kimmel, John Oliver, Seth, Corden, Fallon, Trevor, Colbert, and Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. I'm going to say Trevor. Enough of that. Hey, did you watch Saturday Night Live? They're having a really bad season. The only two things I liked, other than the news is always good, the horror movie parody about what Democrat will run in 2024, I thought that was on point. And the sketch way towards the end of the show where they were on a horror ride and David S. Pumpkins appeared, that was kind of fun. Kenan Thompson, again, proving this episode he's such an MVP. And Cecily Strong, they gave her a lot of run after the rumors that she had quietly left the show. They made it clear that, nope, she's around. Stephen Colbert was asked who he thought would make a good replacement for Trevor Noah. Colbert said, Jon Stewart's available. He only does like 10 shows a year over at Apple. He could do The Daily Show at the same time. Some people are giving Trevor crap, accusing him of being racist. Here's the original comment. Trevor Noah said, "You hear a lot of people saying, oh, they're taking over, and now the Indians are going to take over Great Britain, and what's next?" And I always find myself going, so what? What are you afraid of? I think it's because the quiet part of a lot of people don't realize what they're saying is, we don't want these people who were previously oppressed to get into power because they may do to us what we did to them. Piers Morgan tweeted the U.S. media was falsely portraying Britain as a racist country. Trevor Noah responded and said, come on, Piers, you're smarter than that. I wasn't saying the entire UK is racist. That's why I said some people. Weird Al played Carnegie Hall. He told the capacity crowd, "Let me just take a moment to enjoy this," and appeared to wipe away a tear. "It's always been a dream of mine to one day come to Carnegie Hall and play a bunch of extremely unpopular songs." Weird Al has been touring the unfortunate return of the ridiculously self-indulgent, ill-advised Vanity Tour. I probably should have made more an effort to see this. This is the tour where he's playing deep cuts, so he's not playing Fat and Eat It and things like that. He's playing things like Lame Claim to Fame, or the Talking Heads pastiche Dog Eat Dog. Possibly my favorite Weird Al song, and I'm not being sarcastic. I like the pastiche parodies. Emo Phillips was the opener. Emo Phillips, now 66 years old, and joked, "My girlfriend and I almost didn't have the second date because on the first date I didn't open the car door for her. I just swam to the surface." That's awesome. Weird Al played stuff even back from 1984, including One More Minute, Velvet Elvis, and Good Old Days. And it's going to be a big Weird Al week around here on Friday. Weird, the Al Yankovic story, arrives on Roku. Today's Daily Comedy News is brought to you by ExpressVPN. I love my ExpressVPN. I find, among other things, when I have the VPN on, I get better connection speeds. It also comes in handy, say you're the writer on a podcast called Palace Intrigue and you need to get into some UK websites for some royal family gossip, and those sites are geofenced. Well, you can click on your ExpressVPN and be like, "I'm totally in London. Why don't you think I am?" And then the websites are like, okay. ExpressVPN allows you to reroute your connection to a server in a country of your choice, say the UK, making geo-restrictions a thing of the past. It's fun to pick a random country and then go to a website and just see the different things offered to you. I know some people use these on video streaming services to access other countries' programming. Wink, wink, nod, nod, nudge, nudge, know what I mean. So if you want to hide out, if you want to get into some places that maybe you couldn't get into otherwise, fire up the app and connect with just one click. Go to the link in the show notes and find out how you can get an additional 3 months of ExpressVPN for free through a special offer when you sign up for a 1-year package. Here's the link, expressvpn.com/DCN, expressvpn.com/DCN. Thanks to ExpressVPN for sponsoring today's Daily Comedy News. A couple of recommendations for you. Tim Dillon's podcast with Bill Burr. Very enjoyable episode. Of note, both Tim and Bill kind of back down off their public personas this week. Tim will often say outrageous things and stick to his guns for comedic effect, and Bill Burr, tends to be over the top all the time. And they were having I'll call it a normal conversation. I don't mean that as pejorative, but they were both dialed down a little bit. A very good listen. The Tim Dillon, what's that called? The Tim Dillon Show with Bill Burr. And I've been clicking away at the comedy specials, and I was watching Hasan Minhaj's special on Netflix. Fantastic. Really good. I know I had read the reviews to you and they were middling, but I watched it. The opening part about his troubles with fertility were interesting enough, but once he got into the last 2/3 of the show and talked about all the stuff with the Saudis, he was on point and hilarious. So I have that special ranked really high right now. Let's take a look at my updated best of 2022 rankings. Still number one, and I don't see how anything will pass George Carlin's American Dream. Sheng Wang, top special of the year. Hasan Minhaj, now in the 3 spot, above Reboot. Okay? I really like this special. You should watch it. People did not enjoy Hasan Minhaj on Celebrity Jeopardy. No, not at all. He won $30,000 for the charity he was playing for. But here are some of the tweets. One person wrote, "Hasan Minhaj is definitely the most annoying person on the planet, and I can't believe I watched Celebrity Jeopardy this long before turning it off. Whew. It's just Celebrity Jeopardy, relax." Another person, "I can't stand this guy named Hasan on Celebrity Jeopardy. Holy crap, he's the most annoying and cringe person I've ever seen. Secondhand embarrassment." Another person, "There needs to be stronger rules for Celebrity Jeopardy because this is not anyone's personal comedy special, despite Hasan treating it like one." Well, despite winning 30 grand, he finished third. He will not be in the semifinals. Hasan says he regrets nothing. Scared money don't make money. A follow-up on that attack on Chris Redd last week. Apparently, he suffered 2 black eyes and a broken nose. Wow. He went on Instagram. He said, I've been wrestling up like crazy because I want to say thank you for all the messages of love, the jokes, and the concern. I'm okay and healing fast. And he added, I'll be back up talking some good stuff very soon. The Daily Mail has a picture of Bob Saget's headstone. Robert L. Saget, May 17, 1956, January 9th, 2022. Loving and devoted husband, father, son, uncle, brother, and friend. He brought people together and made them laugh. A very great man. I've shared in the past. Met Bob Saget once. He needed to make a phone call, and he asked if he could borrow my office. So I remember killing time in the hallway watching Bob Saget sit at my desk. Very nice man. And from Variety, Dana Carvey and Conan O'Brien have teamed up on a scripted comedy podcast that takes a weird trip back to the 60s era Twilight Zone. The Weird Place, executive produced by Dana Carvey, is an episodic sci-fi comedy adventure featuring manipulative aliens, time-traveling pirates, and a power-hungry madman with a magic globe. That came out yesterday if you want to check that out. Dana Carvey said, making a scripted comedy podcast in 2022 was a challenge. It took some time to develop the clarity and potent ear candy, meaning effects and music, along with character and story, so that when you test it on a friend, they wouldn't check their phone after 2 minutes. And that is your comedy news for today. Follow the show for free on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. There's an audio-only version on YouTube. I'm actually dressed today and combed my hair and shaved and everything, but I'm still not shooting video. You don't need to look at me. See you tomorrow.